Okay, greetings one and all, and welcome to day number 2. Yes, day number 2, this week 8. Yeah, day number 2, week 8, 2024, spring 2024, and it's definitely a delight to have each and every one of you here. That's day number 2, week 8, spring 2024, and it's definitely a delight to have each and every one of you here for this evening's class. Today is Monday, Tuesday. That's right, it is Tuesday the 27th of February, 2024. The subject is, of course, mathematics. And we are continuing with the topic of time questions. Where's one?
Yes, sir.
Did you get a chance to do the mean, median, and mode thing?
Yes, sir. I'm finishing up right now. I'm on the last year.
Okay, good. You have any questions on that, or everything's straightforward?
Straightforward. I
Okay.
love to review administration.
Mensuration, okay.
Mensuration. I love to.
Review that, okay. Okay, cool. So,
Good afternoon.
good afternoon, Daniel. I see the work that you sent me. That's the end of circle theorem, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what's the next one on that list
I think that's it.
for week 2? Check
Uh,
again. If
yes, sir.
if that's the last one, then I'll send you mensuration.
Yes, sir. We can check right now.
All right. So yesterday we dealt with time questions. We dealt with stuff like elapsed time and stuff like that. How do you find how long something is, right? Today we're going to be dealing with an interesting question. I got it straight from a past paper, so we're just gonna start it off, write it straight from there. So example number 1. So write this down for me, please. Let me put this here so we have space. Good. So it says that Andrea, so it takes, let me fix this properly so y'all could see it. So this is a very interesting question. I should say very compacted question. Go ahead.
Do we have to draw those?
No, you don't have to draw the shapes. It's just write down the question. So it says,
Excuse me, Mr. Petit. Sorry to interrupt.
oh yes.
Is there any specific work I'm supposed to be doing?
Did you finish the slope thing?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So just work with us then.
All right. Yes, sir.
Okay. You reached 100?
No, sir.
What your smart score was? The same thing it was from
80.
yesterday, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, finish that. I need you to finish that and then you can work with us.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Okay, so it takes Andrea 11 minutes to walk from our house. This is a very compact question, right? So you have to pay close attention to this. Because we have like 3 things in one. So think about it. It takes Andrea 11 minutes to walk from her house to the what?
Bus stop.
To the bus stop, right? So how many minutes does it take for her to walk from her house to the bus stop? Anyone can answer.
11.
11 minutes, right? So it takes 11 minutes for her to walk from her house to a bus stop. She arrives at the stop 8 minutes too early for the 11:15 a.m. bus. So it takes her, so in order for her to get from her home to the bus stop, it takes her 11 minutes to walk, right? But she arrived 11 minutes too early for the what? 11:15 a.m. what? Bus, right? So the question is, at what time did she leave home? Very compact question, right? So we have several things going. It takes her 11 minutes for her to walk from her house to the bus stop. But she arrived 8 minutes too early for the 11:15 bus. So the question is, what time does she leave home? Anyone have any ideas for how we're gonna do this? What time does she leave home? I don't have any
Being
ideas.
taken away.
We're gonna take away what?
11 minutes take away 8.
11 minutes take away 8? No. Anyone else have any ideas on how we're gonna do this?
We will take away 8 minutes from 11:15 a.m. and then subtract 11 minutes from that.
Yes, exactly right. Very good, Taya. Very good. Catch on very quickly. So the first thing we need to do is we need to subtract 8 minutes from the 11:15, right? So let's do that. So we have 8 minutes. So we're gonna have hours. So let's put hours there. So hours, and then I'm gonna have. I don't wanna cut the drawing, but you know I need space. So sorry, drawing. Can't keep you. So I'm gonna put this up here. So I have enough space. So hours, and then on the other side we're gonna have what? We're gonna have the minutes.
Minutes.
Right? So remember, we always put the ending time or the arrival time at, you know, at the top, and then we put the other one at the bottom. So we're gonna put 11 minutes.
First.
I'm gonna put 11 minutes first. So it's gonna be 11 minutes right there, right? And then 11:15, right? So it's gonna be 11:15. So it's gonna be 11:15. And how much are we gonna take away from 11:15? We're gonna take away how many minutes?
8 minutes.
How many minutes?
8 minutes.
8 minutes. Very good. So 08. Do we have any hours for this?
Excuse me, Mr. Petit.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if I got lost a little bit. I think you mean 11 hours. You said 11 minutes.
Yeah, it's 11 hours and then 15 minutes. And then it's 8 minutes and 0 hours because, you know, it's only 8 minutes. So you don't need no hours for that. All right. So then we're going to add, subtract, or multiply. Which one? With these two.
Sub-
We're going to
Subtract.
subtract. Definitely we're going to subtract. So we're going to subtract 15 from 8. So let's do that. So remember, she arrived 11 minutes too early, right? So not 11 minutes. She arrived 8 minutes too early. So we're trying to figure like, okay, if she arrived 8 minutes too early, like what time did she, you know, what time did she get there, right? Remember, she arrived 8 minutes too early. So we're trying to figure out what time did she get there? So we're gonna be gonna subtract, right? So what do we have to do? Can 5 minus 8?
No, sir.
No, so we have to do what?
Borrow from the 11.
Borrow from the 1, and it becomes what?
Okay.
0, right?
5
And then the 5 becomes what? 15. So we say 15 minus 8, which is what?
7.
15 minus 8, which is, what's 15 minus 8?
7.
7.
7. Good. And then we do 0 minus 0, which is
0.
0. And then now we do 11 minus 0, which is 11.
11.
So this is telling us that she arrived at the bus stop at what time?
11:07.
11:07. Very good. She arrived at the bus stop at 11:07, which is 8 minutes before the time that the bus is supposed to come. All right. Daniel, did you figure out if that was the last one? Where's Daniel? Hello, Daniel, are you there? Where's Daniel? Where's Daniel? Oh, you end up, you have to come rejoin, okay. So it took her, so she arrived at, she arrived at the bus stop 11:07 a.m., which means that it's 8 minutes before the 11:15 bus come. And that's what we had to figure out, like, what time did she arrive at the bus stop? Now she arrived at the bus stop 8 minutes too early. So that means that, you know, she arrived at 11:07 because that's 8 minutes before 11:15 a.m. All right. Okay, so are we done? Did we find out what time did she leave home?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No. Oh, we found out what time she arrived at the bus stop. What are we gonna do in order to figure what time she left home? What are we gonna do?
Subtract 11.
7
Subtract 11 from what?
from 11:07.
Oh, who's saying that? Who said that?
Brianna.
Brianna. Okay, so we're gonna subtract 11 from 11:07, and that's absolutely right. So let's do that. So we're gonna say hours and minutes. And this is gonna be interesting because with this one, we have to also do, you know, some changing of the cards again. So we have hours, then we have what? Minutes. Where is Daniel? Danielle. I can't hear from Danielle for some reason. So we have hours and minutes as same way. Okay. Okay, that's good, Jasmine. Jasmine, you're working with us today, right? I have no video today. So it's gonna be 11 minutes. Right, 11, not 11 minutes, 11 hours. And how much minutes? 7 minutes, right? Do you all agree?
Yeah, sir.
Good, 7 minutes. And then we're gonna say, we're gonna subtract what, 11 from that because it took her 11 minutes to get to from a house to the bus stop. So we're gonna subtract 11 from that. Again, we are subtracting 11 from that because it took her 11 minutes to get from a house to the bus stop. So let's subtract that. Good. So let's do the subtraction. 11:07 minus 11. What could we do? Can we do 7 minus 1?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, but
Yes,
you
sir.
can't do 0
Which is-
minus 1.
What is 7 minus 1 first? What is that?
6.
That's
Which is
6. And then 0
Well-
minus 1 is what?
Borrow.
You can't do that. So you get a ball from the 11 and the
I have to
11.
So I have to borrow what? I have to borrow.
An hour
Which
from
is
the 11.
10.
I have to borrow a whole hour from 11, and so the 11 becomes what?
10.
10.
10. 10. And what do I do here? Just add 1, right?
60.
60.
Add 1.
Add
60.
60.
We add 1 or just add, or what we adding?
Add
You
60.
add
The 60 minutes is an hour.
Very good. We're gonna add 60. All right. Now some may say, well, Mr. Petit, why are we adding 60? But remember, 1 hour, right? 1 hour equals to how many minutes?
60 minutes.
60 minutes. Right. So 1 hour equals 60 minutes. And so if we are subtracting, sorry, if we are borrowing a whole hour from the 11 becomes what?
10.
11 becomes 10. And when you add a whole hour, that becomes what? 60 minutes. So it's going to be 60 plus 7. Okay, so we have to rewrite this question. So this becomes, this now becomes, we still put the hours, right? And then we still put the minutes, right? Hours and minutes. And is it still 11 hours? We have to change that.
No, so it will be 10 hours,
It'll be 10 hours.
7 minutes.
And what?
67 minutes.
Where did y'all get 67 from?
We add 60 and
60
7.
plus 7.
Very good. We add very good. We add the 60 plus 7, so it's gonna be 67 minutes. Okay. Okay, and then now what we have to do, we have to
Add the
subtract.
11 under the minutes and you'll
Mhm.
subtract.
Good, add 11 minutes and then subtract. So put this down, put this here. And we must subtract. So good. So we have what do you have to do now? We have to
Subtract
subtract.
67 from 11.
You mean 11 from 67.
11
So
from
7 minus 1 is
6.
6. And then 6 minus 1 is
5.
5. Good. And then, well, 10 minus 0.
Bring back the 10.
Bring
10
back
minus
10.
10 minus 0 minus 0, which is
10.
0. And then 1 minus 1, which is
1.
1.
okay. So that means that our answer, right? Our final answer
10:56.
is what?
10 hours and 56.
10 hours and 50.
No.
10:56
What
a.m.
they say what time, right? So
That's
since
all
they
it'll
asked
be
us for the
10.
time, it's gonna be what?
10:56 a.m.
10:56.
10:56 a.m. Very good. 10:56 a.m. So let me explain this one more time for those persons who still may be wondering how we got our answer. So the first thing that we do is the question says that it takes Andrea how many minutes? 11 minutes to walk from our house to the bus stop. She arrives at the stop 8 minutes too early for the 11:15 a.m. bus. At what time did she leave home? The first thing that we must do is we must subtract 8 minutes from the 11:15 because we need to figure out like what time did she arrive at the bus stop, right? So we say 11:15 minus 8, right? We put the 11 for the hours, the 15 for the minutes, and for the 8 minutes, we just have the minute side, it's 0 minutes. And then we say 15 minus 8, which is going to be 7. And then we do 11 minus 0, which is 11. So we figure that she arrived at the bus stop at 11:07. That's the time that she arrived at the bus stop. But she had to walk to the bus stop. So that means that it took her 11 minutes to walk to the bus stop. So the question is, what time did she leave home? Because she had to walk 11 minutes and she arrived there at 11:07. So we had to subtract again 11 minutes from the 11:07 that we had. And so it's going to be, well, 7 minus 1 is 6. And then 0 minus 1, well, we can't do 0 minus 1. So we have to borrow, right, a whole hour from the 11. And so that becomes 10. And so since we're borrowing a whole hour, that means that we know that 1 hour is 60 minutes. So since we're borrowing a whole hour, that means that on the minute side, this hour that we borrowed is actually what? 60 minutes. And so we say 60 plus 7. 60 plus 7 is 67, right? And then the hours is 10, the minutes is 67. And we're still subtracting the 11 minutes. So that's 11 minutes, 0 hours, 7 minus 1 is 6. 6 minus 1 is 5, 0 minus 0 is 0, and 1 minus 0 is 1. So the answer is 10:56 a.m. That is the time that she left home. And it makes sense because it took her 11 minutes to reach it about, if she left home at 10:56, take her 11 minutes to get to the bus stop, which means that she's gonna arrive at 11:07. Then it takes her, then she's 8 minutes too early for the 11:15 a.m. bus. All right. Okay, good. If you understand it, let me know. If you understand how we got to answer.
I do.
I understand.
I do.
Understand. I do.
Okay.
I do.
Still waiting on the others who did not respond. Let me ask this again.
I do.
Do you understand?
I do. I do.
I do.
Okay. Okay, good. Okay, perfect. So, Aliana, can you explain how we got our answer?
Yes, sir. Okay, so we put 11:15 because we put 11:15 because that's time the bus was and we subtract 8 minutes because she was 8 minutes too early for the 11:15 bus.
Mhm.
So 15 subtract 8 is 7, and 11 subtract 0 is still 11.
Uh-huh.
So that leaves us over with 11:07. So
Uh-huh.
we rewrote the problem again, and we had 11:07 minus 11 because 11:07 is the time that she arrived to the bus stop, but we're looking for the time that she left home.
Yeah.
So we had to subtract the 11 minutes, which is the time she took to walk from our house to the bus stop.
Mhm.
So 7 minus 1 is 6. 0 cannot take away 1. So we had to borrow a whole hour,
Yeah.
which leaves us over with 10, and we have to add 60 minutes to the 0.
Mhm.
So we rewrote the problem again, and 60 plus 7 is 67.
Mhm.
So yeah, 1067 minus 11 minutes. And
Yes.
67 minus 11 is 56.
Uh-huh.
And 10 minus 0 is 0, which leave
Uh-huh.
us over with 1056, which means the time she left home is 10:56 a.m.
Very good explanation. Very good explanation. Liana. Taya, explain it for me as well.
Yes, so the
One moment,
question
one
says
moment.
it's
Kamaya, is Kamaya Ferguson now? Kamaya. Kamaya Ferguson, are you here? Where's Kamaya? Thought I heard from her. Okay. Well, I mean, I see her inside the chat. I didn't hear from her yet. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Taya, explain it for me.
Yeah, so the question says it takes Andrea 11 minutes to walk from our house to the bus stop. She arrives at the stop 8 minutes too early for the 11:15 a.m. bus. At what time does she leave home? So to get our answer, first we must subtract 8 from 11:15, which is 11:07,
Mhm.
and from there we must subtract 11 from 11:07. So we subtract the 1 from the 6, but since we can't subtract 1 from 0, we must borrow from the hours, which makes the hours go from 11 to 10, and we add 60 minutes. We add 60 minutes because it is an hour, and an hour equals to 60 minutes.
Mhm.
So we rewrite our question. So it'll be 10 will take 11 from 10 hours is 67 minutes.
Mhm.
1 subtract 7 is 6. 6 subtract 1 is 5. And then because there are no hours, we won't have to subtract anything from the 10 hours. So the answer is 10. And overall, our answer is 10. She left the house at 10:56 a.m.
Very good. Thank you. Very good explanation. Taya. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is thank you, Taya. That's a very good explanation. Okay, so I'm gonna take a picture of this and put it inside the chat for those of you who are still working. And then I'm going to do another example before we get into the grade exercise. All right. Let me put this inside the chat for those of you who are still working. All right. All right, let's go on to example number 2. Right, it takes Philippa 11 minutes to walk from her house to the bus stop. She arrives, let's say for this one, she arrives, I wanted to arrive 12 minutes too early, for the 11:15. She arrived for the 11:15 a.m. Bus. At what time? At what time did she leave home? At what time did she leave home? That's the question. So it takes her 11 minutes to walk from her house to the bus stop. She arrives 12 minutes too early for the 11:15 a.m. bus. At what time did she leave home? Okay, so what's the first thing that we're gonna do?
Subtract.
Definitely subtract. So we have
Excuse me, Mr. Petit.
go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt, but could you send the
The
first
line.
example in the chat again, please?
Let me do that. Where's Clement? Clement, are you there? Where's Clement?
Thank you.
No problem. What's that? What's Danielle? Where's Danielle? Danielle, are you there?
Danielle or Daniel?
Danielle,
So
what's the next one on the list?
it's ratio. Yeah,
Ratio.
ratio. Create the notes for it.
Okay, good.
So
Okay, so so for this one, it's 11:15. You have to subtract 11:15 from what? Anyone know? What do we have to subtract here?
From 12 minutes. From 12 minutes.
From 12 minutes, because she arrived 12 minutes too early, right? So 11:15 from 12. And so that's gonna be, we're gonna have 0 minutes, sorry, 0 hours. And then this one we have 12 minutes. Okay, good. So what we're gonna do is good. And then we're gonna subtract it. All right, so help me out with this. How are we gonna subtract it? We have 11 hours, 15 minutes, and then we have to subtract it from 12 minutes. What are we gonna do?
5 take away 2.
5 take away 2. What is 5 take away 2?
3.
3, very good. And then 1 minus 1 is what?
0.
0.
0, very good. And then we say 11 minus 1, which is
11.
11. Sorry, 11 minus 0 is 11, so it's gonna be 11:03. So are we finished? Are we done? Are we completed?
No,
We
sir.
got 11:03. Are we done?
No, sir.
No,
No,
we are
sir.
not.
No. What we have to do now?
You have to
Find
subtract it by
how she
11
when she
minutes.
left home.
We have to subtract 11:03 from 11 minutes, because remember, she takes 11 minutes to walk from her house to the bus stop. So 11 minutes. So it's going to be hours and then minutes again. And we have to subtract it from the 11 minutes, right?
Yes, sir.
So, hey, Naya. Naya, hey, are you coming to class tonight?
I was going to the classes after the 6 to 9.
You have church? Or are you going over to the notes? I thought you had church. Okay. Make sure you go over them properly now. I remember we having a mock, so make sure I do that. Make sure I go over paper 2 stuff. Okay, good. So 11:03, you have to subtract 11:03 from what?
11:15. I mean, 11 minutes.
Just 11 minutes or 11:15? What you think?
11:15.
11:15?
11 minutes.
Excuse me, Mr. Petit.
11 minutes.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but maybe excuse me, Mom asked me to do something for.
Yes, we can. So
Thank
we're
you.
gonna subtract it from what? 11 minutes, right? And the reason why it's 11 minutes is because, well, it took her 11 minutes to walk from our house, right? So it's gonna be 11 minutes, right? So 11 minutes. Where's Clement? Clement, are you there? I can't hear from Clement. I know you have internet issues.
Yes, sir.
Oh, good. What happened yesterday? I didn't see you.
Sorry, Ms. Petita. I was pretty busy.
Pretty busy. Interesting. Well, first of all, I don't believe you. And second of all, if you are quote unquote busy, you have to message me and let me know, so I can know
Sorry,
that you're
Mr.
not coming to
Petita.
class. So you missed yesterday's note, so you need that. So I'm gonna, before you leave class today, let me send that to you so you could write that down. So do you have me, Clement?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we have 3 minus 11. Well, 3 minus 1. How are we gonna do that? We have to
2.
subtract, right?
Borrow from
3 minus
11.
borrow from the 11. What you mean?
I mean, subtract 3 from 1. That's moving too fast.
Okay.
It is 2.
Subtract 3 from 1, you get 2. And then
2.
0 minus 1 is what?
Borrow from the 11.
Yeah, we can't do that, right? So we have to borrow from the 11. And so if you take 1 from 11, that's gonna be what?
10.
10.
10. 10, very good. And so, and then on this side, we're borrowing a whole hour now. So what is gonna be? It's gonna be what? On the minute
60
side.
60
3
minutes.
plus 3.
60, very good. 60 plus 3. And what is 60 plus 3?
63.
63. So question, how's our new equation gonna look like? It's gonna look like we're gonna have again hours and minutes. Okay, so this is gonna be, instead of the 11, we're gonna put on the side, we're gonna put what?
10.
10.
10, very good. 10, so we have 10 hours and how many minutes on the side?
63.
63. 63. And how did we get 63? We did what?
Because we add 60
You
with the
added the
3.
60 plus the 3.
Very good. We add the 60 plus the 3, and that's how we get 63. And so, so 10 hours and 63 minutes. Then we subtract, right? So subtract that. It's gonna be 11. And so we have, let's have to be, let me make this longer. Okay, good. So now we could subtract. They still have to be elongated. Okay, good. No, why does this cricket? Okay, much better. Okay, how many times? Well, we have to subtract now. I think we can subtract perfect. So now we're just gonna go ahead and subtract this thing. Oh man. Okay, let me put this and go back. All right, so 6, so 3 minus 1 is what?
2.
3 minus 1 is 2. 6 minus 1 is
5.
5. And well, this is 2 zeros at the bottom. And then 10 minus 0 is
10.
10. So the answer is going to be 10. 10 what?
10:52.
10:52. So the answer, therefore, is going to be it's going to be 10 hours or 10 a.m. 10:52 a.m. Why 10:52 a.m.? That's the time that she left home. Okay, so let me run it back and help you to understand what we did. So what did we do? It takes Philippa 11 minutes to walk from her house to the bus stop. She arrives 12 minutes too early for the 11:15 a.m. bus. What time did she leave home? So the first thing we need to do is we need to take the 11:15 and then subtract 3 from that. Sorry, subtract 12 from that. Why 12? Because she arrived 12 minutes too early. We're trying to figure out like what time did she arrive at this bus stop? And so we subtract 15 and 12. 5 minus 2 is 3. 1 minus 1 is 0. And then we have 11 minus 0, which is going to be 11. So you have 11:03. Okay, that's how we get this one. But 11:03 is the time that she arrived at the bus stop, right? That's the time that she arrived at the bus stop. And so what we need to do is we need to figure out, okay, what time did she leave home? Now it took her it takes her 11 minutes to walk from her house to the bus stop. So we're gonna take away 11 from 11:03. And we faced with a problem or dilemma immediately, because when we do 3 minus 1, it's 2. But when we do 0 minus 1, well, we can't do that, right? So we have to borrow a whole hour from 11, and that becomes 10. And then when we send that hour across to the minute side, it becomes 60 minutes, because 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. We add 60 plus 3 and we get 63. And so we have 10 hours and 63 minutes, and we have to subtract it from 11. Well, we have to subtract 11 from that. 3 minus 1 is 2, most definitely. 6 minus 1 is 5. We do 10 minus 0 and we get 10. So the answer, therefore, is going to be 10:52 a.m. And that's how we're going to get the time that she arrived, the time that she left home. So she left home at 10:52 a.m. She walked for 11 minutes, and then that means that she arrived at the bus stop at 11:03, and she had to wait for another 12 minutes to get onto that 11:15 a.m. bus. All right. One more time. Do you all understand how we got it? Let me know if you understand
Yes, sir.
how we got it.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Excuse me, Mr. Boutique.
Yes, Nevaeh.
Can you send example 1 in the chat for me, please?
Yes,
I
I can.
apologize for coming late.
Okay, let me put the first example for you in the chat. Ajani, do you understand how we got this? Where's Ajani? Ajani and Akiro.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Akiro, where's Akiro?
Yes, sir.
You understand how we got this? Hello, hello. Do you understand how we got it? That was the question. Akiro, where's Akiro? Where's Akiro? Oh, he said yes. Okay. And who else? Joseph, do you understand?
I understand.
And Dante Darvel, do you understand? Where's Dante? Okay. And Kiajane, do you understand? Kiajane. And Sidel. Sidel and Kiajane, do you all understand? Kiajane said yes. And where's Sidel? Sidel Smith, where are you?
Sorry, I'm here.
Do you understand how we got answer?
Yes, sir.
How about you, Zara? Zara Han, do you understand? Again, Zara Hannah, do you understand how we got an answer? Okay. Zara, are you writing down the notes or are you just idling around like yesterday? Again, Zara, are you writing down the notes or are you just idling around? Are you writing them? Good. And that goes for everyone. Make sure you write down the notes, please. And don't be idling around because I will find you and you're not gonna like it. Okay, so Reagan Joseph, explain how we got our answer, please, before we go into the grade exercise. Oh, no, Reagan said he had to step out. Michael, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Petit, I just came back right in time. I heard you calling my name, sir.
Okay, so I'm gonna let you go and explain it, and Matthew can explain it afterwards. Not Matthew, Michael. Go ahead, Michael. I mean, go ahead, I'm Reagan, then Michael.
It takes Philippia 11 minutes to walk from
Philippa.
my house to the bus. Philippa, 11 minutes to walk from my house to the bus stop. She arrived at the stop 12 minutes too early for the 11:15 a.m. bus. At what time did she leave home? For the first one, you would put hours and minutes, and you would use 11 hours and 15 minutes and subtract that by 12 minutes. 5 minus 2 is 3, 1 minus 1 is 0, and 11 minus 0 is 11. And then you would carry over the 11:03 and subtract that from 11 minutes because it took her 11 minutes. It takes her 11 minutes to walk from her house to the bus stop. You would do a 3 minus 1, which is 2, and you can minus 0 from 1. And you would borrow from 11 hours. You would borrow a whole hour. 60 minutes is an hour, so that 11 turns into a 10, and you would add 60. It would be, and then that would turn into 63 minutes. And then you would put hours and minutes again, then it would be 10 hours and 63 minutes from 11. 3 minus 1 is 2, and 6 minus 1 is 5. And then 10 minus 00 is 10. So the answer would be 10:52 a.m.
Good. Thank you, Reagan. And Michael, I need you to explain it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, explain how we got answer.
The question says it takes Philippa 11 minutes to walk from her house to the bus stop. She arrives at the stop 12 minutes too early for the 11:15 a.m. bus. At what time did she leave? So first you have to subtract 11:15 from 12 minutes, and that answer will be 11:03. And then we gotta use that answer and subtract that from the 11 minutes she took to walk to her house. But you can't do that because you have to borrow an hour from the 11 because you only have 3 minutes and 3 can't take away from 11.
Mhm,
But the bar hour, which is 60 minutes,
mhm.
then you have the plus 60 with 3 minutes, which would be 63 minutes. So then you rewrite it, and it'll be we'll put 10 and 63 minutes and subtracted from 11 minutes which your answer would be 10 out 10 o'clock and 10:52. Sorry.
10:52 a.m. All right. Okay, so good. Let's go over the grade exercise. I think we are ready for that. I'm only going to give you 3. It should be very short because these are not long questions. So let's go ahead and do it. If you still need the first first set of notes, I posted inside the chat. Again, if you need the first set of notes, I posted inside the chat. That goes for Jalen, who just arrived, and for anyone else who need the first 2 slides. All right, so let's go on to the grade exercise. Where's Jalen? Jalen, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I posted the notes inside the chat for the first and second example. All right.
Yes, sir.
Why are you coming to my class late is my question though. What's happening? What's happening lately? It's 10 minutes to 7. What's happening?
My Wi-Fi was acting up.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Petita says graded exercise 1.
Yeah, it is grade exercise 1. It's the first grade exercise.
I thought you said you were giving us 3 examples.
Yeah, 3. No. I mean 3 grade exercise.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Yeah, so.
That's fine. All right. You Dawn, did you send me your work from yesterday?
Yes, sir, I did.
When you send your work this time, put your name on attached to it
Yes, sir.
so I can know it's from you. Alrighty. It takes, what are we gonna call this person? I don't have a name for him. What name are we gonna say?
John.
John? No, it's a girl.
Emily.
It's a girl.
Aline.
Aline?
Emily.
Shaquito.
Oh my goodness. Oh wow.
Rio.
Let's go with Samantha, okay? Samantha is easy. Juan, where you come from with that name? Oh my goodness.
Mr. Petit.
It takes 11 minutes for her to walk from house about. She arrived, let's say she arrived 14 minutes too early. With 11:15 bus stop, what time did she leave home? Okay. Okay, I have another girl, the name. Give me a name, please.
Sierra.
Abigail.
Abigail. I like Ciara. I think Asia. I think we do have a we don't have an Asia now, but I thought of Asia. Ciara, I like Ciara. It takes 11 minutes to walk from our house, but so she arrived. Let's say she arrived. Say she arrived 9 minutes too early for that 11:15 bus. What time does she arrive home? And then one more girl, the name.
Destiny.
Destiny. I like that one, Destiny. It takes Destiny. It's a powerful name, eh? Anyone know a Destiny?
I do.
I know it.
My friend named Destiny.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay. Yeah, I know a Destiny too. It takes Destiny. No, it's not gonna be 11 minutes. Let's say it takes her 13 minutes to walk from her house to the bus stop. She arrives at the bus stop. Let's say she arrives at the bus stop 21 minutes too early. For the it's not even gonna be 11, it's gonna be for the 10. 6:05 a.m. bus. At what time does she leave home? So just those 3 questions. I need everyone to work on these questions. Oh, I need everyone to work on these questions. Once you are finished with the work, then take a picture of it and send it to me via WhatsApp. But I need everyone to work on these questions for me. Minus 13. I don't know if I want 10:05 because that'll be too difficult for you. I don't know. Let's make sure that this is 25. Let's just do that. So 10:25, that'll be better. And then she arrived 20 minutes too early. Yeah, that's perfect. All right, good. Ajani, what number you on, Ajani?
Number 1.
Number 1. Demetria, what number you on?
I on number 2.
Good. And no, I mean Ajani. Ajani, what number you on? No, I asked Demetria, right? I'm sorry, Demetria. I already asked you. What's her name? What's his name? Akira, what number you on?
Number 1.
Number 1. Aliana, what number you on?
Number 1.
Okay. And Aliyah Star, what number you on?
Number 2.
Okay. Andrea, what number you on?
Number 2, Mr. T.
Okay, and Amarani, what number you on?
Number 1.
Okay. And Angel, what number you on?
Number 1.
Number 1. Okay, good.
Susan, Miss.
Yes, Kyle. Where's Adari?
My last 2 pages of my book.
You're in the last 2 pages of your book? Okay,
That's
so
all.
good. Get a next book.
That's all.
Adari, look at the 2 examples I sent you. I need you to write that down for me. And then go on to the grade exercise. Alicia, what number you on? Alicia, what number you on?
2.
Number 2. And Ashane Fernanda. Ashane Fernanda, what number you on? Ashane Fernanda, number 1. Okay. Renee Russell, what number you on, Renee?
Number 1.
Number 1. And Brianna Roll, what number you on?
Number 2.
I didn't see you yesterday. What happened?
I had to finish my coursework for biology, so I couldn't come to class.
Okay. No problem. When it's like that, just make sure message me to let me know.
Yes, sir.
And Bree and Bri, what number y'all on?
I'm on 2-6. Number 2.
Okay. And Bethany, what number you on? Bethany, what number you on? Okay. And Brashawn, what number you on?
Number 2.
Okay. And Yvette Percenti, what number you on?
Number 1.
Number 1. Yvette, did you send your work from yesterday?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Chai, what number you on? It's Chai.
Number 1.
Number 1. China, what number you on?
Number 2.
Number 2. Joseph, what number you on? Joseph, what number you on?
Number 2.
Number 2. Clement, what number you on?
Number 3.
Number 3. Seren, what number are you on? Seren Newbold, what number you on? Seren. I can't have from Seren. Danielle. Where's Danielle? Danielle, are you finished with ratios? I can't have from Danielle. Where's Dari? Dari, are you there?
I know she typed in the chat.
Okay. Where is Dia Gibson? What number you on, Dia?
Number 3.
Number 3. Okay. And Dion, what number you on?
Number 2.
Number 2. Dante, what number you on, Dante? Dante, what number what?
2.
Number 2. Okay. Okay, and Doronik, what number you on, Doronik?
3.
Number 3. And Dwayne Slew. Dwayne Slew, what number you on, Dwayne? And Egypt, what number you on?
Number 2.
I can't hear you.
Number 2.
Number 2. Did you send your work from yesterday, Egypt?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and Gianna, what number you on?
Number 2.
Number 2. Gilbriana Goodman, what number you on?
Number 1.
Number 1. Gilbriana, where's your work from yesterday?
I wasn't in class yesterday.
Okay. When it's like that, please message me and let me know.
Yes, sir.
And you don't roll. What number you on, you don't?
I'm on number 2.
Number 2. And Jalen, you still writing the notes or you want the grade exercise? Jalen,
He's still reading the notes.
okay. And Jasmine, what number you on?
2.
Good. And Jevin Moss, what number you on?
I almost finished. I on number 3.
And Jeremiah, what number you on?
2.
2. Good. And Kiajane, what number you on, Kiajane?
Number 2.
Okay. Casey, what number you on?
I'm on number 3, sir.
Number 3. Kema, what number you on?
Number 2.
Number 2. And Kevin, what number you on?
Yes, sir.
What number are you on? That's my question.
Finishing up number 3 now.
Okay, Kingston, what number you on?
I finished and I gonna send you my work right now.
Okay. Kamaya Ferguson. Where's-
I'm on number 2.
Yeah, I was calling you earlier, but I wasn't getting you. What's happening? Did you hear me?
No, sir. I had a step out.
Okay, remember this is not your first time in this class. If you step out, you have to let me know. You understand me?
Yes, sir.
What number are you on?
2.
Do you understand what to do?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. And Kyle, what number you on, Kyle? Kyle, let's go. What number you on, man? Where's Kyle?
Number 2.
Can you speak so I can hear you? Because if you mumbling, it doesn't help. Yes, what number are you on? I'm saying, what number are you on, Kyle? You have to type it inside the chat because I see a mic is.
You said number 2, sir.
You don't. He doesn't need an interpreter. What he need to do is he need to speak properly.
Sorry.
Put the number in the chat for me because I can't hear what you're saying. Kyle. So put your number in the chat. What number you on? Malia Rule.
Excuse me, Vidit.
Go ahead.
3.
Uh-huh.
What comes after math? Health science or general science?
You missed class for 1 day and you forget? 1 day? Come on. Always do health before general.
Yeah. Health before general. Thank you.
Malik Rule, what number you on?
Yes, sir.
What number you on?
I'm on number 1, sir.
Number 1. How come you on your number 1? What's happening? Why are you taking so long? Hello, Malik, what are you doing? Are you distracted?
Yes, sir.
Distracted by what?
My mother, sir.
Oh, your mommy calling you to do stuff. Okay. And Mark, what number you on?
I going on number 3 now.
Yeah, did you write the notes and everything?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and Matthew, what number you on, Matthew?
Number 3, sir.
Number 3. And Nakari Roberts, what number you on?
Number 2.
Number 2, good. Nevaeh Carey, what number you on?
I on number 3, sir.
Good. And Nivea, what number you on, Nivea? Nivea Gordon. Where's Nivea? Nivea Gordon, are you there? Can't hear from Nivea. Nevaeh Wallace, are you there? Where's Nevaeh? Nevaeh Wallace. What number you on?
3.
Did you send the notes from yesterday?
Yes, sir.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Let me see. Where's Nivea Gordon? Is there anyone who's finished? By the way, is there anyone who's finished?
I'm
So
done.
I'm about to send
I
those
am.
to you right now.
Already.
Okay.
I am.
Okay.
I finished
I
already.
am.
If you're finished, take a picture of your work and send it to me via WhatsApp. Again, if you're finished, take a picture of your work and send it to me via WhatsApp. Okay, I see your work in Nivea. I don't see Nivea. I don't hear from Nivea. Omari, what number you on, Omari? Omari, what number you on? Number 3. Reagan, you see you're finished, right?
So I'm about to take the picture of the work right now.
Good. And Ronisha? What number you on, Ronisha? Ronisha, number 3. Good. Sabria, what number you on?
Excuse me, Mr. Petit. Do you want me to send the notes as long as the work?
Yeah, send the notes as well as the work.
And
And Sabria, what number you on?
I'm on number 2.
Number 2. Sadel, what number you on? Where's Sadel?
Sorry. I'm on number 3.
Number 3. And Samantha. Samantha, where are you, Samantha?
Hi.
You sent in the work, right? I think you're finished.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and Shannon Roll, what number you on? Shannon. What number you on, Shannon? Where's Shannon? Number 3. Okay, and Shekinah, what number you on? Shekinah. Shekinah Kalma. Where's Shekinah? Shekinah Kalma, are you there? Okay. Taya, what number you on?
I'm done.
You sent in your work already?
Sending it now.
Okay, and Joseph. Joseph, let me talk to your sister. Tyrone, what number you on? Shekinah, how are you in class and I calling your name and you can't hear me? Or you're not responding? No. You keep on disturbing Joseph from his work. I keep on calling your name, and you're not responding. So it's clear that you're not in class, you're doing something else. Plus, where's your notes from yesterday? Where's your notes from yesterday? No, but there's no but. How much times I gotta tell you, take a picture of your work and send it to me. That's what I'm saying. So 2 things, you need to answer when your name is called. That's the first thing. And the second thing is you need to send your notes. What part of that don't you understand? How come every night we have to go through the same thing? That don't make no sense, Shekinah. Do you hear me? So send your notes and answer when your name is called. Do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Good. Where's Summer?
Yes, sir.
What number you on?
I'm finished. I already sent you my work.
Good. And Tyrone, I think I was calling for Tyrone. Tyrone, what number you on? Tyrone? Where's Tyrone? I can't hear from Tyrone. And Willon, what number you on?
Number 2.
Number 2. Zaria, what number you on?
Number 2.
Number 2. And Zara Hannah, what number you on? Zara Hannah. You're finished? Did you send in the work, Zara Hannah? Okay, you did. Okay, Daniel. What are you working on now?
As I'm working on a ratio, but I stepped up for a second because my final chart.
What year are you on? Okay. Once you finish, take a picture of it and send it to me.
Yes, sir.
At least whatever you get done by 8 o'clock, then send it. Okay, let's go ahead and wait. By the way, anyone finish? Let me know if you're done.
I'm done.
I
Yes,
am.
sir.
I'm sending
I
it
am.
I am.
I'm done.
Okay, good.
Somebody
Perfect.
have a question in chat, Miss Pretty.
What does it say? Let me send this picture to her in the chat so she could see it. Okay, so let's go over the answers for number 1. Okay, so for number 1, what's the first thing we have to do? We have to subtract by what? We have to do 11, 15 minus what?
14.
14.
Minus 14 minutes. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Excuse me, Mr. Petit, I just sent my work, so.
Okay, good. And when we do 5 minus 4, what we get?
1.
We get 1. And then 1 minus 1 is
0.
0. And so we left with 1101, right? Okay, so now it's going to be 1101 minus what? Minus 11 minutes. But we have to transform that to what? 10 hours and what? 10 hours and what?
60 seconds.
61 minutes.
61
61
seconds or minutes?
Minutes.
Minutes, very good. We have to
Minutes.
subtract what? 11, right? Okay, and when we subtract it, 1
Yes, sir.
minus 1 is what?
0.
0.
0.
0.
6 minus 1 is what?
5.
5.
5.
5. So what time did she leave home?
10:50 a.m.
and
10:50.
15.
10:50. Did anyone else get
10:50.
10:50 a.m. as their answer? Did
Yes,
anyone?
sir.
I did.
I
Okay,
did.
good. Good. I only have from a few persons. Anyone else? 10:50.
I did.
I did.
I
I
did.
did.
Okay,
I
good.
did.
Perfect. Myla said she did. Myla, you got it? Where's Myla? Myla, what happened to you? I can't hear you. You're just typing. Why are you not speaking? Your mic isn't working? Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay. Number 2. What are we gonna do for number 2?
We're gonna
Do
subtract
11.
11:15 from 9.
Subtract 11:15 from
9 minutes.
9 minutes from 11:15. So it's gonna be 0, 0, and then 9, right? So we have to do 15 minus 9, which is gonna
Which
be what?
is 6.
Which is 6, right? That's correct. And then we have to do, this is gonna be 0 minus 0, which is still 0. And then we have 11:06.
11.
And then we have to do what? We have to do 11:06. Well, it's not going to be 11:06 anymore, right? It's going to be 10 what?
66.
10 what?
I got 66.
10:66. Very good. Minus what?
11:06.
11.
minus minus what?
11.
11 minutes. Very good. So it's gonna be
It must be 10:06. 10:06.
10:06. Why 10:06?
I mean 11:06. My bad, sir.
It is 11:06. But then we transform that to 10:66.
Oh, I got you. I got you on that.
You understand? And then so we do 6
Do
minus
what
1.
inside a short way, right?
Yeah. So then we do 6 minus 1, which is what?
5.
5. And then we do 6
5.
minus 1, which is
5.
5. And then this is going to
10.
be 10 minus 0 is
10.
going to be
10.
10. Did anyone else get 10:55?
I did.
Yes, sir.
I did.
Yes, sir, I
did.
I did.
Very good, Malik.
Yes, sir.
10:55. Good. I'm
I
still not
did.
good. I'm still not hearing for the rest of you. What are y'all doing? I'm asking a question. Did you get 10:55?
did.
Yes, sir.
No.
I did.
Okay.
So
No, sir.
Yes.
What you got? 1?
I got 11:06. That's my final answer.
How?
Excuse me, sir. I didn't get it either.
You didn't get that?
I
I-
subtract. I put 7 instead of 6.
Oh, you put 7 instead of 6.
I
Oh.
got 10:56.
10:56. How did you get that? So you have to be careful how you're doing it, right? Andrea, did you get it?
Yes, sir.
How about Bree and Bri? Did y'all get it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. And Angel, did you get it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. How about you, China?
Yes, sir.
That's good. Okay, so Darnik, did you get it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. And okay, so let's do another one. The last one. Number 3. Number 3 was interesting because we have a lot of shifting of stuff, so we have to be careful. So, what we have to subtract? What 2 things we have to subtract first?
13, 25. Subtract 21.
I want to have someone else other than Jevin. You've been talking all night. Someone else.
10, 25.
Neither you won. I
Subtract.
don't want you won. You've been talking to someone else.
10:25 minus 21.
10:25 minus 21.
10:25 minus 21. Why are we minusing 10:21?
Pardon me?
Why are we minusing 21?
It's the minute.
Yeah, right. So it says she arrived 21 minutes what? Too what?
Early.
Too early.
early.
Too early. So it's gonna
Early.
be so it's gonna be 10:25. Minus what?
21 minutes.
21 minutes. Good. And what do you get when you do it like that?
10:04.
I got 10:04.
10:04. 5 minus 1 is
4.
4.
4. And then 2 minus 2 is 0. So it's still what? 10:04, right?
Yes, sir.
10:04. Good. And then at this point, what do we do?
I subtract the 10
Not you,
by
Malia. Not you,
13.
Malia. And not Andrea. I need someone else. Someone who have not
Can I go?
No, Taya, you already been. Someone else who have not spoken.
We will
Not you, Gilbriana Goodman. Not you. Someone else who have not spoken.
Can I go, please?
You subtract
Nevaeh,
the
you go every
10:04
night.
by
Nevaeh,
13.
you
have to take. You have
um,
to take.
it's either Brene or Angel, one of y'all.
I'll go.
Go ahead.
So you have to take the 10:04, what you got, and you have to subtract it from 13 minutes.
Very good. So would it still be 10:04 or we change it to something else?
Change it to 9.
Change it to 9 what?
9 hours.
And how many minutes?
04.
9:04? No. It's not gonna be 9:04. What's it gonna be?
64.
You guessing or you telling me?
Telling you.
Good. 964. And we're gonna subtract that with what?
13.
13. Very good. So it's gonna be 0, 13. And so we say 4 minus 3 is what? What is 4 minus 3?
1.
1.
1.
And then 6 minus 1 is
5.
5.
5. And then 9 minus 0 is
9.
9. And so the answer is 951. Did anyone else get 951? Let me know if you got 951.
I did.
Yes, sir.
I did.
I did.
Still on here in a few percents. I want the rest of you 951. Anyone else here get that?
I did.
I did.
I got it.
Okay, good. Good. If you got all right, put I inside the chat. Again, if you got all right, put I inside the chat. If you got 1 wrong, put Y. If you got 2 wrong, put N. Again, if you got all right, put I. If you got 1 wrong, put Y. If you got 2 wrong, put N. All right. All right, put your answers inside the chat. If you got all right, put I. 1 wrong, put Y. 2 wrong, put N. Ashane, very good. Aliyah, very good. Sadel, Reeb, and Chai, Kevin. 1, what you got wrong? Kvet, very good. Clement, Matthew, Taya,
I
you
got
don't.
number 2 wrong.
How? Oh yeah, that's the one you. Yeah, I remember that. China, very good. Summer, Mila, very good. Good stuff. Pretty easy stuff, and we still have a lot more time in the clock. So, let's do another example. Gonna call this one example number 3. Example number 3. So let's go ahead and do it. Let's call this one example number. By the way, let me put this inside the chat. For those of you still have not sent me the work yet, where's Shekinah? Where's Shekinah?
Yes, sir.
Where's the notes?
Joseph was using his phone right then, so I didn't send it yet.
So you're gonna send it after class, right?
Yes, sir.
I need the notes from yesterday and today.
Yes, sir.
And stop having me to run you down for notes, Shekinah. That's annoying, you know. You understand that? Do you realize that that's annoying?
Yes, sir.
It is very annoying. I shouldn't have to run you down for notes. Come on, man. You're in high school now. You're no longer in primary school. Do you think you're still in grade 6?
No, sir.
Okay, then we'll stop acting like it and submit your work on time. Come on, man. You have 6th graders who wouldn't do this to me. So you need to submit your work on time and stop having me have to run you down. Don't even make sense. Okay, let's
Excuse me, Miss Vati, you can hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
I can't send my work right now because my mommy stepped out, but I think she coming back. So when she come back, I can send my work and my notes.
Yeah, for sure she's coming back. And yes, when she comes back, you could send your work. Okay, so this is a very good question. This is very easy, but for this one, I need a reader. Andrea, can you read this for me, please? By the way, write this down. Write this down for me. Read this, Andrea.
Mr. Petit, is this an example?
This is an example. It's example number 3.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Andrea, the digital clock.
The digital clock shows 6:45. What time would the clock show in 20 minutes?
Very good. So the digital clock shows 6:45. What time will the clock show in 20 minutes? By the way, put your answers inside the chat for me, please. I need y'all to put your answers inside the chat. The digital clock shows 6:45. What time will the clock show in 20 minutes? Brianna, can you read this question, please?
You mean me?
Yes, Brianna Rule.
Okay. This digital clock shows 6:45. What time will the clock show in 20 minutes?
Very good. So put your answers inside the chat, please. I need to know what time will the clock show in 20 minutes. Put your answers inside the chat for me. By the way, I need you to write this down inside your book and also send this once you're done. So make sure write this question down as well. And don't just put your answer inside the chat. I need you to answer the question as well. Good. Okay, so let me see what y'all have inside this chat. I hope all y'all don't have the same answer. 7:05. Everybody have 7:05. Why do y'all believe it's 7:05? Is it because someone else say 7:05? You say it's 7:05?
No, sir, because
Can I go, Mr. Petit?
Right after you done. Let me unhear this. By the way, write this down. Write this down for me. Go ahead.
5 plus 0 is 5, and 2 plus 4 is 6. So hold on. Let me start over.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember. Sorry.
So you put it because everybody put it. Okay, interesting.
No, sir.
Go ahead, Taya.
I put 7:05 because 6:45 plus 20 minutes is 6:65, but that isn't our digital time or real time. So because 6:45 became 6:65, we turn and our hour equals the 60 minutes. We take the 60 minutes and turn it into an hour, which gives us 7 instead of 6, and now our answer is 7:05.
Very good answer. Very good explanation. So did you hear that, Udon?
Yes, sir.
Good. That's how you explain it. So the first thing we're gonna do is we know that we have hours and minutes, so we're gonna add them. By the way, write this down, please. We have 6:45 along with, we're gonna add how many minutes to it? 20 minutes, right? Remember, we are adding now, not subtracting. 5 plus 0 is gonna be what?
5.
5.
There's not only 2 persons in this
5.
class. 5 plus 0 is what? 5.
5.
Plus the 4 and the 2, you're gonna get what?
6.
6. And then that one's gonna be 665. How many persons got 665 first? 665.
I did.
Good.
I did it.
Now, when
I
you get
did.
665, what you gonna do with that? You know that.
Turn the 60 minutes into an hour.
Very good. You know that 665, you have 6 hours and 65 minutes, right? So that's going to be 6 hours plus 60 minutes plus 5 minutes. But what is 60 minutes? 60 minutes is what?
1 hour.
60 minutes is an hour. So we're just going to write 6 hours plus 1 hour plus 5 minutes, right? And then what is 6 hours plus an hour? That's going to be
7 hours and 5 minutes.
very good. 7 hours, because we're going to add the 6 plus the 1, and that's going to be what? 7 hours and 5 minutes, right? Which leave us with 7:05. And so this is how you do it. So make sure I write this down for me in your book. Okay, I need someone to explain it for me. Someone who have not spoken that much. Volunteer yourself, or I will.
Me?
Dari, go ahead.
Yes, so what I do was the question says the digital clock shows 6:45. What time will the clock show in 20 minutes? So I like how you mute me like that just now.
Can you all hear me?
I can hear you now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, Dari, I didn't have what you say, Dari. So you have to explain that again.
Yes, sir. The question says the digital clock shows 6:45. What time will the clock show in 20 minutes? So I add 6:45 plus 20, which will give you 6:65.
Wait, take your time, take your time, take your time. Breathe, and explain it. Take your time. Go ahead.
Start over.
Of course.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This digital clock shows 6:45. What time will the clock show in 20 minutes? So I add 6:45 plus 20 minutes, which gives me 6:65. Then you know that an hour is 60 minutes. So then you would change the 65 in the back there. You would take the hour from it and add it to the 6, which will give you 7. And then the 5 was remaining you'll put a 0 in front of it, which makes it 7:05.
Thank you for the explanation. One more person explain this. Go ahead, Angel. By the way, make sure write this down for me. Again, make sure write this down. Go ahead, Angel.
Yes, sir. So we get 6:45 from the clock, and then we get 20 from the clock shows 20 minutes. And so we add 5 plus 0 and it's 5. And then we add 4 plus 2 and it's 6. And then we add 6 plus 0 and it's 6. And so we do 6 hours and 65 minutes.
Yes.
And that equals 6 hours plus 60 minutes plus 5.
Yes.
Then we have 6 hours plus 1 hour because 60 minutes is 1 hour. Plus 5 minutes. And then we get 6 hours plus 65 minutes equals 7 hours plus 5. And that's how we get 7 hours and 5 minutes.
Very good. Okay. Does everyone understand how we got 7:05? Let me know, please. Does everyone understand how we got 7:05?
Yes, sir.
I do.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I'm still hearing the same old persons. I want the rest of you to answer.
Yes, sir.
Aaliyah
sir.
Starr
Yes,
never. Aaliyah
Yes,
Starr
sir.
never is answering this class. Michael never is answering inside this class. Kiman never is answering inside this class. What are y'all doing? So I'm gonna ask it again. Do you understand the work?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Come on,
Yes, sir.
man. You have to participate in the class. Otherwise, why are you here? You have to participate in the class. It can't just be the same person talking. That don't make no sense. Okay, let's do another one. Y'all finish write this down, or I still have to keep this?
I finished. You done.
You got it?
I finished writing it down.
Okay, so this is a past paper, came from 2015, paper 1. Let me give you the next one. Yeah, let's do this
Excuse
one.
me, Ms. Petit.
Go ahead.
May I be excused, please?
Yes, you can.
Hey, Miss Petit.
Go ahead.
You been on top of me.
I did. It's right. Oh. I thought I put it in the chat. I posted to China. Okay, good. Okay, so let's do the first question. Question number. This probably, I don't know. We probably might have one more example after this. Okay, so go ahead, Juan, read this for me, please. A flight leaves.
A flight leaves at 2:25 p.m. to travel from Presley. Did I say that right? Presley to Newsly.
Mhm.
The flight takes 7 hours and 13 minutes. A. Calculate what time the plane should arrive at Newsly.
Okay, good. I need a next reader. Someone who have not read before.
You mean in ASOL?
Nevaeh, you always reading. You always reading. You always talking. Gianna, go ahead.
Yep.
Go ahead, Gianna.
Yes, sir.
Read it. A flight leaves.
Yes, sir. A flight leaves at 2:25 p.m. to travel from Presley to Newsly.
Mhm.
To travel from Presley to Newsly, the flight takes 7 hours and 13 minutes. A. Calculate at what time the plane should arrive at Newsly. B.
Okay.
Write
No,
your
no, no. We
answer
just want
from
the first
A.
one.
Oh,
It's on the first one. Calculate the time it should arrive at Newsly. Put your hands inside the chat, please. I want to know the time it should arrive at Newsly. Everyone put your hands inside the chat. The flight leaves at 2:25 p.m. To travel from Presley to Newsly, it takes 7 hours and 13 minutes. That's the duration. What time should the plane arrive at Newsly? Put your hands inside the chat for me, please. Again, put your hands inside the chat for me. And also write this down in your book too. But I need to know what your answer is. The flight leaves at 2:25 p.m. to travel from Presley to Newsly. The flight takes 7 hours and 13 minutes. Calculate the time the plane should arrive at Newsly. Again, put your hands inside the chat, please. Flight leaves at 2:25 p.m. to travel from Presley to Newsly. The flight takes 7 hours and 30 minutes. Calculate the time the plane should arrive at Newsly.
Excuse me, Mr. Petit. May I be
Go ahead.
excused to take my medicine, please?
Yes, you can.
Thank you.
All right. Calculate the time the plane should arrive at Newsly. I see some answers inside the chat. Oh, a lot of answers inside the chat. Bethany, Alasia, Kevin, Samantha, Michael, Kilbriana, Amaranik, Ali, Aliana, Dari. I need the rest of you who are not answering to answer inside the chat, please. And it's usually the males who are not answering. People like Amar, people like Ajani, Joseph. Those people don't answer inside the chat. I don't understand why they don't answer. Put your hands inside the chat. That was the instruction. Most persons are getting the same thing. Okay. Again, put your hands inside the chat for me, please. Okay, Prashawn, explain to me how you got 938, or did you just put it because everybody put that?
No, sir. So, firstly, the question states a flight leaves at 2:25 p.m. to travel from Presley to Newsly.
Yes.
The flight takes 7 hours and 13 minutes.
Mhm.
Calculate at what time the plane should arrive at Newsly. So, firstly, to get this answer, you would take the time that the flight leaves, which was 2:25 p.m. Put that in the hours and minutes format, and then the question also states that the flight takes hours and 13 minutes. You would add 7 hours and 13 minutes to 2:25, which would give you 9:38 p.m.
And that gives you 9:38. Interesting. So, that's how you get
Yes, sir.
9:38. Did anyone else get 9:38 by themselves and didn't look at the chat?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
By themselves without looking at the chat.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so how did we get 9:38? Let me see. The first thing I did was we're gonna add or we're gonna subtract to find this one. Gonna add. Okay, good. We're gonna add. So we're gonna add what? 225, right? All right. So 2 hours and 20 minutes. What's gonna be on this side for the hour side?
7.
7, right? 7. And what's gonna be on the minute side?
13.
13, good. So we put the addition. What is 5 plus 3?
8.
5 plus 3 is 8. And then put the 8 down. What is 2 plus 1?
3.
3. That's gonna be 3. So we put the 3 down. Then are we done?
No, sir.
No, sir.
So
No, we're not done, right? We need to what? Add the
add
7 and the
The 2 on the 7.
very good, the 2 and the 7. Which is gonna be 9. And so that's how we got 9:38. Did anyone do it just like how I did it? Set it up like that.
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
I just didn't do the hours and words. I
Yes,
just didn't put the words.
I
Okay,
didn't do
so
that.
how did you do it, China?
I do it with the 24-hour clock.
You do it with a 24-hour clock. I didn't answer that yet. B is where we asking for the 24-hour clock. So B says write your answer in A in a 24-hour clock time. So put your answer in A in 24-hour clock time. I need everyone to write that answer inside the chat. What is 9:38 in the 24-hour clock time? Okay. So put your answer inside the chat. What is 9:38 p.m. in terms of the 24-hour clock time? Put your answer inside the chat for me. 9:38 in terms of the 24-hour clock. Again, 9:38. What is 9:38 in terms of the 24-hour clock? All right. Let me see the answers. Okay. Okay. So most persons are saying the same thing. What did y'all get for 9:38 in terms of the 24-hour clock? What did y'all get?
21.
21.
38.
21:38. 21:38. Jevon, it's not 9:62. Now, how do we get that? First of all, I need you to write down this chart. So this chart basically shows you the 24-hour clock. So the chart tells us, do I have the conversion? Did I have it? Okay, yes, I do. Okay, good. So, well, you start at 12. So 12 is regular, but 1 is what? What is 1? 1 p.m.
13.
13. And then what is 2 p.m.?
14.
14. 14. And what is 3 p.m.?
15.
15. 15. And then what is 4 p.m.?
16.
16. And what is 5 p.m.?
17.
17.
Right.
Then what is 6 p.m.? What is 6 p.m.?
18.
18.
18. Good. What is 7 p.m.?
19.
19. So I want you to draw this chart, right? So complete this chart and then answer the question. So you have to know that 6 p.m. is 1800. 7 p.m. is 1900, 8 p.m. is 2000, 9 p.m. is 2100, 10 p.m. is 2200, and 11 p.m. is 2300. So that's the conversions there. All right. So we had 938. So all we need to do is add 12 to that. Basically, you just add 12 if you really think about it, because 6 plus 12 is 18, 9 plus, and 7 plus 12 is 9. Sorry, 7 plus 12 is 19, and 8 plus 12 is 20. So you basically just add in 12 each time. So it's 9:38 p.m. So it's just gonna be 21:38. But question, what is it? What if it was 9:38 a.m.? What was it gonna be in the 24-hour clock?
0900.
What if it's 9:38 a.m.? What would it be?
It was gonna be
0.
9:38.
What was it gonna be?
9:38.
Yes, 9:38 doesn't change. So for AM, it doesn't change. It only changes when you enter the PM territory. That's a general rule. So, good. So write this down for me. Again, write this down. Can I move it? Or are you all still writing?
Yes, sir.
I'm still
I'm
reading.
still right. Still right.
Okay, good. Make sure write down the chart as well. Okay. Again, make sure write the chart.
Excuse me, Mr. Petit.
Go ahead.
Which subjects do we have tomorrow?
Um, Math and English.
Yes, thank you.
Well, all right. Okay, good. So the answer for this one is 21:38, and for the first one it's 9:38 p.m. Right, so just make sure that you get that intact. Okay, good. This was 7:30, 7:52. I think we got time for one more example. Okay, we good with this we good with this slide? Let me know.
Yes, sir.
Good. All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's do one more example, and then I can ask you to send in your work. So I'm gonna put this inside the chat for those persons who are still writing. Okay. Mhm. This is another question. I like this one. Gotta be thinking. Kind of tricky. But once you're thinking, you should be all right. Okay, so go ahead. What's her name? China, can you read this question, please? The clock.
The clock is 7 minutes slow. What is the correct time when the clock shows 6:59?
Very good. And Kivet Percenti, can you read this? Kivet Percenti.
The clock is 6 minutes slow. What is the correct time when the clock shows 6:59?
It says 7 minutes slow, so read it again.
The clock is 7 minutes slow. What is the correct time when the clock shows 6:59?
Very good. And Kamaya Ferguson, can you read this? Kamaya.
The clock is 7 minutes slow. What is the correct time when the clock shows 6:59?
Very good. So, put your answer inside the chat for me, please. The clock is 7 minutes slow. What is the correct time when the clock shows 6:59? All right, put your answer inside the chat, please. Make sure, note that you don't have to copy the one because, well, they could be wrong too. So remember, the clock is 7 minutes slow. It's 7 minutes slow, too slow, right? Not fast, but 7 minutes too slow. What is the correct time when the clock shows 6:59? All right. By the way, this is the last example. So write this down, and when we go over it, then I need you to take a picture of your work and send it to me. Kingston, you already answered in the chat. Where's Kingston?
Not yet.
Okay.
Wrote the answer right now.
Okay, and Jalen, did you answer inside the chat yet? Jalen. Did you answer inside the chat yet?
What's asking on Tarina?
Yes, answer inside the chat. Let me know what you get. Kmar, did you answer inside the chat?
I'm about to answer right now, sir.
You're always about and going to. I need you to answer inside the chat. That was the instruction. Kmar, did you answer inside the chat? And who else? Jasmine, did you answer inside the chat? Jasmine? Where's Jasmine? Hannah from Jasmine. Bree and Bri, did y'all answer in the chat?
I was still doing mine. I was still doing
You're still doing it? Okay, and Rashawn, did you answer inside the chat?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Okay, so what did y'all put? Let me see. Amari's put 666. Ashane put 652. Zaria, what you change your answer?
Yes, sir.
Samantha, which is it? Is it 706 or is it 652? Which one? Zaria say, I just realized it says slow. China, you saying 652? Interesting. Bethany said 653. Summer says 706. All right, so it's basically between 652 and 706. So I want y'all to tell me which one y'all choose. Is it 6:52 or is it 7:06? Which one is it?
52.
706.
706.
I only have 4 persons. Is it 6:52 or is it 7:06? Which one is it?
706.
706.
7:06. Interesting. So what happened to 6:52? Anyone want to explain
They
how they
didn't
got?
say.
Go ahead.
They didn't say 7 minutes ahead. They say 7 minutes slow.
Okay, so it's saying that the clock is slower, right?
Excuse me, Mr. Petit.
Uh-huh.
But it says 7 minutes slow, which means it should be ahead. I mean,
So
the time should be farther than that.
exactly. So the actual time should be further than 6:59, right? Right?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
that's the caveat right there. It says 6:59, so that means that the time should be ahead of 6:59. So if we were to do it carefully, we have to what? Add, right? Add 7 minutes to 6:59. When we add it, we get what? 6:66. But if we change 6:66 into the regular time, it's 7:06. So the correct answer is 7:06. Did anyone else get 7:06? Did anyone else
I
get
did it.
7:06?
I did.
Now I see how they tricked me. Now I see.
Did anyone else get 7:06 before we
I
move?
heard that, but I changed it.
Oh, the answer is
I did.
7:06. Okay, good. Write this down, and then send all of the examples to me via WhatsApp that we did. Again, write this down and then send all the answers to me via WhatsApp. All right. Again, write this down and then send all the answers to me via WhatsApp in your notes. All right. Good. Is anyone who finished and sent in their workers yet?
Yes, sir.
Elijah?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anyone else who finished and sent their work already? Besides Elijah and Gilbriana?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Kevin and Kingston. Again, write this down. Write this down, and then when you write this down, take a picture of your work and send it to me via WhatsApp. Again, take a picture of your work and send it to me via WhatsApp. Again, take a picture of your work and send it to me via WhatsApp. Is anyone who sent in their work already? Let me
I
know,
did.
please.
I
Yes,
did.
sir.
That's all.
I did.
Good.
I did.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna move on to health science first, as we always do. Take a picture of your work and send it to me via WhatsApp. Again, take a picture of your work and send it to me via WhatsApp. Like I said, we're gonna go into health science first, and then we're gonna go into general science. So if you're not doing health science or general science, you can leave if you have already sent in the work. If not, then for those of you who are doing health science and general science, we have to stay back. All right. All right. So we're gonna do health first and then general. Right. So let's go ahead and do that. We're gonna head up and everything. All right, let's go ahead. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the health science. Today is Tuesday, right?
Yes, sir.
Tuesday, the 27th of February, 2024. The subject is, of course, health science. And the topic is, so the last thing we did in health science was that we were looking at which system. And when we did health science last.
The muscular
The
system.
muscular system.
The muscular system. Did I tell you how many muscles are inside of the muscular system? Or inside of the body?
More
Did I
than
tell?
600.
More
There are
than
more than 600.
more than 600 muscles. Very good. Inside the muscles. What are the functions of the muscular system?
Helps the heart to beat.
Help the heart to beat. What else?
Help the body to move.
Help the body to move.
Helps the blood to circulate.
Help the blood to
Helps them
circulate.
breathe in.
What else? So we said that the muscular system helps. Can you let me know?
Yes, sir.
So
Okay, good. All right. What I was saying is that the muscular system, it helps the heart to beat, helps the blood to circulate. Does it push food through the alimentary canal, the digestive system?
yes, sir.
Okay, good. It also helps to push babies through the birth canal, and it helps in breathing, all right? So we look at that. We also look at two types of muscles. Ones that we could move at will, right? That's what we call, what type of muscles are they? Those we could move on our own.
Voluntary muscle.
Those muscles that we can move on our own are called what?
Voluntary.
Voluntary muscle.
Voluntary muscles, very good. And then those muscles that we cannot move on our own are called what?
Involuntary.
Involuntary.
Yeah, those are going to be the muscles that move automatically, right? And so that's where we stop. Today we're going to be looking at how muscles work in harmony with one another. So let's go ahead and talk about that. So we're going to talk about muscles working together, right? So muscles work together. So do you know that the work of muscles is there to complement each other, right? So they work in unison, right? In concert, but they have complementary rules. So one rule is there to help the other rule work, right? So there's a specific name that we use for these type of muscles that work hand in hand, but in the opposite way. Anyone know? I'm sure y'all should know. The muscles attached to the bone work in pairs called, anyone know? What would we call the pairs of muscles that work in opposite way? Yet they complement each other. Anyone know? No? Start with A.
Antagonistic?
Very good. Antagonistic. Very good, Malia. Antagonistic. Anyone else heard that word before? In connection with muscles? Antagonistic.
No, sir.
No, really?
I had a word, but just not in the form of talking
Uh,
about muscles and stuff.
oh, okay. Yeah, that's common. So antagonistic. I call antagonistic pairs, right? Or we can say it is the muscles attached to the bone. The muscles attached to the bone work in pairs called, let's say, called an antagonistic pair. So we call them antagonistic muscles, right? Very important that you understand that. That is like a fundamental thing you should know. So the idea is that when one muscle contracts, the other muscle is going to do what? When one muscle
Relax?
Yeah, when one muscle contracts or gets smaller, the other muscle relaxes. Or it gets longer. All right, and so that's the idea of what I mean by antagonistic muscles, right? They complement each other, but they work in the opposite way from each other. So kind of weird because when one muscle contracts, the other muscle relaxes. When one muscle relaxes, the other one contracts, right? So that's the idea of antagonistic muscles. So when one muscle contracts, the other muscle relaxes. Another muscle relaxes, the other one contracts. So on and so forth. That's how it works. So we can clearly see this when we're looking at our arms. So this simple action causes the appendages such as the legs and arms to straighten and bend. One pair of antagonistic muscles one pair of antagonistic muscles is the triceps and biceps of the upper arm. All right, and so let me put this in block. So that's a very good example, a very common example of antagonistic muscles, the biceps and the triceps, right? Now the biceps is going to be, let me just show you in a diagram so you can actually see what's happening. So so that's how your arm that's how it raises and that's how it bends and that's how it straightens. And so let me show you a good example. In fact, I need you to draw this, right? So I really need you to draw this so you can see exactly what's happening. And you can actually have a visual in your mind. So draw this for me. So first, let me just explain the drawing first so you can see what's happening. So there are two types of muscles that we have here, right? So this bulgy one, what do we call that? That bulgy one that you see whenever people doing like pictures for, showing their muscles. What do we call this?
Flexing.
Muscle? When they're flexing, what do we call this muscle? Right here. That's the biceps. Now, is this muscle contracting or is it relaxing?
Contracting.
Contracting.
Very good. So it's contracting. As we can see, it's, being centralized. Even look, bulging out, right? That's what I mean by contracting. And so that is going to help pull the arm forward, right? But it also needs the help of this muscle, right? Now, this is what we call, what muscle is this? This is what?
Tricep.
The tricep. Now, is this relaxed or is this contracted?
Relax.
Relaxed. It's relaxed. So when this muscle, the biceps, is contracted, what happens to the triceps?
It relax.
It relaxes. But when the biceps is relaxed, like straightened out and elongated, it's longer, right? What's going to happen to the triceps?
It contracts.
It contract, right? So this is what helps the arm to bend, to move up and to come down, right? And so if you want your arm to look, muscular, you not only need to do muscles that help the biceps to get stronger, but also you need exercise that helps the triceps to get strong as well. So biceps and triceps, those are very important, very, very important muscles. And there's an A word. What type of word we want to use to describe them? It's an A word.
Antagonistic.
Antagonistic, very good. Antagonistic muscles, all right? Okay, so draw this for me, please. So I need you to write this down and draw this diagram, all right? It's very important. Antagonistic muscles. Okay, Ajani, where's Ajani? Johnny, are you there? Where's Ajani? And there again, Ajani is nowhere to be found. No problem. I just need to call his mommy. Akira, where are you? Akira, are you there? Where's Akira? Can't hear from me.
Yes, sir, but I'm not doing health science, so I just inside the class until general science.
Okay. And what's her name? Bry? Where's Bry?
Yes, sir.
What do we call this muscle?
Biceps.
Biceps. And Bree, what do we call this muscle?
Triceps.
The triceps. Good. So this one is the biceps, this one is the triceps. Good. By the way, please draw the diagram again. Please draw the diagram. Dante Darvel, are you there? Dante. Dante Darvel, are you there? Where's Dante? Can't hear from Dante. Egypt, are you there? By the way, please make sure I draw this diagram.
Yes, sir.
What do we call this muscle? What do we call this muscle? Egypt, are you there? What do we call this muscle? Do you know? If you don't know, then just let me know you don't know, but don't waste my time. Do you know, yes or no? Hello, Egypt? You're not, I can't hear you. That's the problem. I still can't hear you. I don't know what happened to your mic. Let me call you. Chai, what do we call this muscle?
The bicep,
We call this muscle.
the tricep, my lord.
Okay, and let me ask the question. When this muscle contracts, what's happening to this muscle?
It relax.
Egypt, can you hear me? Hello, Egypt. Oh, what internet is the problem? Oh, I see. And Brene Russell. Where's Brene?
Yes, sir.
What do we call this muscle?
The biceps,
The biceps. What do we call this one?
the triceps.
The triceps. Good. Jalen, where are you? Where's Jalen? Jalen, are you there? Hey, Egypt.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
Pardon?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I was saying, what is this muscle right there? What do we call this muscle?
I can't see the screen.
Oh, you can't see the screen. Okay. The muscle that the one that is bulging out when you bend your arm. What do we call that one? The one that bulges out when you bend your arm. What do we call that muscle?
The I can't pronounce it.
It start with B.
Um,
The
I can't.
we call it the biceps, all right? Right. So when the bicep contracts, what's gonna happen to the triceps? It's going to relax, right? Understand me? All right. So when the bicep contracts, the triceps is going to relax. All right. And where's Jalen? Jalen, are you there? Where's
Yes,
Jalen?
sir.
What type of muscle is this? What we call this type of muscle?
I ain't taking health science.
You're not taking out?
I think in general.
You're taking general. Okay, say again. Where's say again?
Yes, sir.
What do we call this muscle?
The bicep,
And what do we call this one?
the tricep.
As a pair, what do we call the pair?
Antagonistic.
Antagonistic. Why do we call it antagonistic?
Because when one muscle contracts, the other relaxes.
Very good. And Mark, where's Mark?
Yes, sir.
What do we call this muscle right here?
The bicep,
What do we call this one?
the tricep,
Good. Okay, Mark,
Yes, sir.
what do we call this muscle?
Contracting by
This one is a bicep. What do we call this one?
tricep.
The tricep. Good. Okay, so
Hey,
y'all,
Mr. Fatigue.
go ahead.
I remember learning this in grade 8.
Okay, good. So when this one is contracted, what's gonna happen to this one, Kima?
That one relaxes.
That one relaxes, right? So they work in opposite way from each other. When one relaxes, the other one contracts, right? That's why they call them antagonistic muscles, or antagonistic pairs. Okay, y'all finished with this diagram? Yes or no?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, no. Everybody have their own saying. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put it inside the chat. For those persons who are still drawing it, can still draw it. Where's Clement? Clement, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Why do we call these muscles antagonistic muscles?
Because one contracts and the other strengthens.
When one contracts, the other one does what?
The other relaxes.
So they work in
Pairs.
Very good. They work in pairs and they work in the opposite way with each other, right? So they work their work complement each other, right? So Okay, so that's why we call them antagonistic pairs. So what are some other muscles of the muscular system? So common muscles. So common, let's look at common muscles in the body. So number one is what we talked about here, the muscles of the upper arm. That would be what? We just talked about it. The muscles of the upper arm. What are they?
Biceps,
Biceps and
triceps.
very good. Biceps and triceps. That's the muscles of your upper arm, right? Right there. The upper arm, muscles of the upper arm, biceps and triceps, right? That's the muscles of the upper arm, biceps and triceps. Next, number two. Then we have the muscles of the shoulder, right? The muscles at the shoulder. The muscles of the shoulder are called the deltoid, right? That's the muscles at the shoulder. So muscles of the shoulder are the deltoid, right? That's the deltoid. So muscles at the upper arm is called the triceps, muscle at the shoulder is called the deltoid. And then we have the chest muscles. And the chest muscles are called the pectorals. So chest muscles are called the pectorals. Upper arm muscles are called the biceps and triceps. And the shoulder one is called the deltoid. So the muscles of the thigh. So the muscles of the thigh, if they are the front ones, we call them the quads. So the muscles of the thigh are quadriceps. And that's the front one. And the hamstring muscles. Now the hamstring muscles are going to be in the back, right? So muscles in the front is the quads or the quadriceps, and the muscles, the thigh muscles in the back is going to be the hamstring. Anyone, whenever they doing like exercise and they like stretching, could feel their hamstring, like you feel it lengthening. Anyone know what I'm
Yes,
talking
sir.
about?
That's so.
Like when you're
Yes,
doing
sir.
exercise and you try to stretch,
Yes, sir.
feel that spring thing in the back there. And okay, and then the muscles. Yeah, I just can give you all four because we're already out of time. What do we call the muscles of the upper arm? What do we call them? The muscles of the upper arm.
Biceps and triceps.
Biceps and triceps.
Biceps and triceps.
Biceps and triceps. I'm not only talking to 4 people, so let me ask the question again. What do we call the muscles of the upper arm?
Biceps.
Biceps.
Triceps.
Very good. Biceps and triceps. What do we call muscles at the shoulder? At the shoulder.
Deltoid.
Deltoid.
Deltoid. Deltoid. How about chest muscles? What do we call them?
Pectorals.
Pectoral.
Very good, pectorals. And how about the front thigh muscles? The front thigh muscles.
Triceps.
Quadriceps. Quadriceps.
Quadriceps.
Or quads.
And the hamstring muscles.
Hamstring muscles.
And the hamstring muscles are the one in the what? Back of and the one in the back.
Back.
Very good. So the hamstring is the one in the back. What do we call muscles that are attached to the skeleton but that work in the opposite way from each other? What do we call those type of muscles?
Antagonistic pair.
Antagonistic pairs. Very good. Why do we call them antagonistic pairs?
When one relaxes, the other one contracts.
Very good. Because when one relaxes, the other one contracts, sorry, and when one contracts, the other one does what?
Relax.
Relaxes. Good. All right. Good stuff. Go ahead, take a picture of your work and send it to me via WhatsApp again. Take a picture of your work and send it to me via WhatsApp. Again, take a picture of your work. Again, take a picture of your work and send it to me via WhatsApp. Where's Nevaeh? Nevaeh Wallace?
Yes, sir.
Your mic was open.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
Okay, good. So take a picture of your work and send it to me via WhatsApp again. Take a picture of your work and send it to me via WhatsApp. All right, so we're gonna move on to general science. Just for those persons who are doing general science. For health science people, y'all finished with this? Are y'all done with this?
No, sir.
Good night, Mr. Petit.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good night, Angel.
Yes, sir.
Again, for the health science people, are y'all done with this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good. Make sure I draw the diagram, right, of the antagonistic muscles. Do your best to draw that. Okay, so the last time we were here, we were talking about the different times, two different things, mixtures and compounds, right? By the way, let me head up for general science properly. So I know general science is Clement's favorite topic, it seems. One camera is on, I don't know who it is. Make sure I turn the camera off. Put one of your camera on. Okay. Okay, so good. All right, so let's go ahead and head up. Today is Tuesday the 27th of February, 2024. The subject is, of course, health science or general science? General science. I don't even know why I think, general science. Okie dokie. So the last thing we did in health science, we talked about two types of substances. The first one was a mixture. The other one was a C. Compound. Very good. So we said that mixtures is basically two substances. Excuse me, two substances that are physically combined, right? And then we say that a compound is going to be two or more elements combined. We give examples of mixtures, like air is a mixture. What else is a mixture?
Seawater,
Seawater is a mixture, you know. What else?
rainwater,
Rainwater. It's also a mixture. We also looked at alloys, right? Brass is an alloy. It's basically a mixture of metals, right? Then we looked at compound. Yeah, then we look at compounds, and we talk about how compounds is basically a combination of two elements, right? We talk about some compounds in everyday life, like table salt, which is basically sodium and what else combined? Sodium and what other element for table salt? What other element do you need for table salt? Sodium and what else? Anyone else? No?
Sodium chloride.
chloride,
Very good. Sodium chloride. We look at ammonia, which is also another compound, and much more. So today we're going to be looking at what we call a solution, right? And solutions are interesting because they consist of two parts, and we're going to be talking about the two parts of the solution, right? And so we're going to be looking at solution, right? A solution. There's different types of solutions, right? But we're going to be discussing exactly what we mean by solution. We're going to define it properly, right? So solution, right? So a solution by definition, a solution is a mixture, right? So this is a mixture formed when a solid, what's the solid going to do inside of the liquid? Is a D word.
Dissolve.
Dissolve, very good. Dissolve. Dissolves in a liquid. Now give me an example of a mixture where the solid dissolves into the liquid. Give me an example.
Honey.
Sugar and water.
sugar,
Sugar and
and
water. What else?
Kool-Aid.
water,
Kool-Aid, very good. We have the Kool-Aid packages. Put the Kool-Aid inside of it and it dissolves
And
fully
tank,
into it.
tank,
Tank.
Coffee.
Coffee, yes. What else?
chocolate.
Not chocolate. You're talking about chocolate. You're talking about dissolves into the liquid. Oh, you mean like when you're making
Yes, sir.
when you're making like, okay, I understand what you're talking about. So it's so how about salt and water? Like when you put the salt inside the water and you swirl it,
Like
it's gonna dissolve into it, right? Right. If you have sand and water, will it dissolve into the liquid?
yes, sir. The sun.
Sand and water?
no sir.
Will the sand dissolve into the liquid? I can hear you, Demetria. Will the sand dissolve into the liquid is my question.
No sir.
No.
No, sir.
No. So since the sand will not dissolve into liquid, we say that the sand water mixture, that's not a solution, right? That's not a solution. At least it's not a solution that we're going to be talking about. So it's a mixture, but not a solution. And so because we have the particles suspended, the solution we're talking about is a solution where the solid is going to dissolve into liquid, right? So the solid, right? So the solid is soluble. So the solid is soluble. What does that mean? It means that soluble in the liquid, which means that it could dissolve and resulting in
Excuse me, Mr. Petit.
uh
For the definition of a solution, can you also say two or more substances physically combine?
solution.
Or I'm saying for the definition of a solution, can you also say two or more substances physically combine, or that doesn't?
You mean in place of
Um,
word in place of the word mixture?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because that's what a mixture is. So a solution is a mixture form when a solid dissolves in liquid. The solid is soluble in liquid and the resulting solution is clear. Right, the resulting solution is clear. That's very important. So it's soluble, right? Which means that it could be dissolved into it. Now, there's a specific name that we call the solid part, and there's a specific name that we call the liquid part. So does anyone know before I give it away? Some of you may know this before. The solid is called a certain thing, and then the liquid part is called a certain thing.
Solvent and
Salute.
soluble.
Not soluble, solute. So the solute, right? The solute is the substance. The solute is a substance being dissolved, right? So the solute is a substance. Solute is a substance. The solute is a substance being dissolved, and the solvent was the solvent. That's going to be the what? Is the substance that what? That is doing the dissolving, right? So the solution is the substance. The solvent is a substance that's doing the dissolving, and the solute is a substance that is being dissolved. All right, so that's the difference between them. So in the case of something like sugar and water, what is the solute and what is the solvent?
The sugar is the solute and the water is the solvent.
Very good. The sugar is the solute and the water is the solvent, right? Because the sugar is the solid part and the water is going to be the liquid part. Okay, good. For example, when sugar dissolves in water, a solution is formed. The sugar is the what? The sugar is the
Salute.
solute. Where's Clement? Clement, are you there?
Yes, sir.
You sure you're there? Because usually it's be answering, but you look like you're distracted. What are you doing in the back there?
Nothing, sir.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
So why are you not answering? What? Are you writing down the notes? What are you doing?
Yes, sir.
You need to start answering these questions. That's what you need to do. Because you used to do it, but you look like you're distracted. All right. For example, when sugar dissolves in water, a solution is formed. The sugar is what we call the sugar. I'm sorry, the sugar is said to be. The sugar is said to be the solvent, it's the solute, and the water is the what?
Solvent.
And the water is the solvent. And the water is the solvent. So the solvent is typically the liquid part, and the solute is typically the solid part, as a general rule. Does anyone know what is the universal solvent?
Yes, sir, I do.
What is the solution what is the universal solvent?
I think it's water. I'm pretty sure it's water.
Think, asking, telling, what?
I telling you it's water.
I think I agree with her.
Yeah, water is the universal solvent. Why do you think water is called the universal solvent?
Everlasting.
Everlasting.
It can dissolve most substances, Mr. Petit.
Yeah, because most substances dissolve in water. So solutions, and let me add enough next part to this: solutions and suspensions. Let's talk about suspensions too. Okay, so we know what a solution is. A solution is a mixture form when we have a solid dissolving in a liquid, right? So when you spin the thing around, it's going to become a part of the water, dissolve in it. So what is a suspension though? And that's where the difference in those two is. Like, what is a suspension? I think the name, gives it away. But what do we mean by a suspension? Not a school suspension. We're talking about that. What do you mean by a suspension? Anyone have an idea? If the
I know you don't mean like a spring or a shock.
No.
No.
If
I think it means something that's put in place for something.
No, not substitution.
It's somewhat wet, hanging.
Okay, very close. So if I could hear you now, that's good. So if the solution is a mixture where the solute is dissolved, right, completely, then what is a suspension?
It's a mixture where the solid is not dissolved.
Exactly. It's a mixture where we have particles still, like Myla said, hanging out, right? Still outside, right?
Like for an example, like ranch dressing.
What do you mean?
I mean, you have the particles inside of the dressing that isn't dissolved.
Let me give you an example of what I mean. So for example, let me first define it for you. So a mixture. When you hungry? Oh my. Suspension. A1. It's a mixture.
No, sir.
No, you make me laugh with that. Okay, it's a mixture form when visible particles visible particles of a solid are suspended in a liquid and dissolved in a liquid. So the solid is said to be insoluble. And insoluble just basically mean what? It can't dissolve, right?
Yes, sir.
Insoluble in the liquid, resulting in a suspension, or we could say, and the resulting suspension, and the resulting suspension is cloudy. Now, for example, we gave a good example of it before, the sun and water thing, right? The sun doesn't dissolve inside of the water. That's a suspension, right? So it's a mixture form when visible part of the solid are suspended in the liquid. So mixture when visible part are suspended in the liquid.
Excuse me, Mr. Petit. You see how you say an example is what I call the sun and water thing. Could it also be like food or like food ingredients?
I'm not sure. Let me check that out, because when I think about it is that I remember in chemistry we did these experiments where they had and they say they say the result in suspension is cloudy. So I wonder if they only referring to when you have them when you have the particles actually floating on top and not just not dissolved. So let me check that. Let me see. Because that's probably what they mean. Instead of just meaning undissolved particles, they probably mean where the particles are actually floating on top. So let me check that. So we're talking about suspension, right? So let's look at examples of suspension. Let me see. Let's see. Oh. Yeah, you're actually right. One, salad dressing. They said muddy water, paint, salad dressing, ink, medicine, marshmallow fluff, cough syrup, starch, slurry, clouds, or suspension of, okay. Some salad dressings contain suspended herbs or spices or other solidicals in a liquid base. That's what you mean in one when you talk about that.
Yes, sir.
Good. And muddy water. Water mixed with suspended soil particles form a suspension. Cough syrup. Cough syrup often contain suspended particles of medication or soothing agents. So let me give you all these examples. So examples of suspensions are muddy water, salad dressings, because you have those things still are not dissolved inside the salad dressing. Cough syrup. Okay. Let me see if I give you some pictures as examples. So suspension, mixture. Let's look at some pictures. Hello? Hey, Naya.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. I hear you now. You just realized that 3 hours in? So you just start then. But you're doing it, anyway, 7 minutes too? That don't make no sense. Anyway, I can call you back. Okay, so let me just show you. I think they're actually talking about, because all of these, the thing is actually like literally floating in it. So it does seem like it's a difference between, yeah, that makes sense, from precipitation and suspension. So let me show you. So with suspension, so solution is definitely when it's dissolved straight through. Like you can see it fully dissolved. Suspension, we have the particles still floating around the liquid, right? So when I said sun and water, that's probably a better example of precipitation, like when it's actually fall down. But with suspension, the stuff is actually still floating around, right? It's still there. So, so chocolate milk, homemade lemonade and stuff like that, where you have those things still floating in, those examples of suspensions. When you still have the substances, when you still have the solute floating in, right? And so that's the suspension. So they say the mixture is still on the cell at the bottom. But some part is still, oh, so sand and water does work because some still float, but not all. Okay, cool. You said the criteria is that you need to have some floating, and that's the idea. All right. So a mixture is in which the solid particles are large enough to see. Okay, good. So what other example I gave you all so far? I gave you examples of, let me stop sharing. Share it again. So we talk about muddy water, salad dressings, and cough syrups. Those examples of suspensions. Okay, good. So, question: what is a solution?
The solution is a mixture of 2 or more substances physically combined.
Very good. A solution is a mixture formed when a solid dissolves in a liquid. What is the solute?
Substance being dissolved.
Substance being dissolved.
The substance being dissolved. What is the solvent?
The
substance
dissolving.
The substance that does the dissolving. Good. What is called a universal solvent?
Water.
Water. Water is
Water.
a universal solvent. What is a suspension?
A mixture formed
mixture
when
of
visible
Mixture
particles
formed when visible particles are suspended in a liquid.
Very good. When you have visible particles suspended in a liquid. Examples would be muddy water, salad dressings, and cough syrups. Okay. Okay, that brings us to the end of the study. Take a picture of your work and send it to me via WhatsApp again. Take a picture of your work and send it to me via WhatsApp. Again, take a picture of your work and send it to me via WhatsApp.
Done.
Good. Once you've done that, then you can leave.
Good night,
Good
Mr.
night, Mr. D.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, Mr. Petit.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Good night, Mr. Petit. I
Good night.
sent you on my work. Good night.
Good night. Again, take a picture of your work and send it to me via WhatsApp. Again, take a picture of your work and send it to me via WhatsApp.
Good night, Miss Petit.
Good night, Mr. Petit. I send you all the work.
Good night.
Good night, Mr. Petit.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.